Hello YouTube fam! On this adventure, I was with the E Clampus Vitus. I first heard of them during my Mojave trip with Jeep Mama. Who are the Clampus Vitus? Well, from what I gathered, they are a historic group that helps protect and preserve historic places and build monuments in remembrance of the location, such as this one from Mojave. If you've seen them around, these are the guys that you want to thank. Right now, we are heading over to Owens Lake, one of the largest dust control projects in history. But I'll let the clamper guide tell you about it.
And in its heyday, when it was 100 square miles, it was probably about 30 feet, 35, 40 foot deep. It's about as deep as it was. But when the mines were going full bore, there was 2 steamboats that operated on the lake. And then there was 3 ports. You had Swansea, which is straight across that way. You have Keeler, which is our next stop. And then on the opposite side of the lake, you had Cartago. And before the steamboats came here, they had to haul all the silver ore around the lake, and they hauled it all the way to LA. It was like a 22-day trip.
Ooh.
But the steamboats cut 3 days off the trip when
How'd
they
they
started
haul
running
it?
steamboats. What's that?
How'd they haul it?
War cart with mules and oxen, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a 22-day trip, and all the silver ingots that came out of there all went to LA. And then after that, in the big earthquake of 1872, the whole boundary of the lake changes, shifted. The bottom shifted. Swansea had to extend their wharf out another couple hundred yards out into the lake so the steamboat can get there. And then the guy that basically bought out Keeler and put smelters there, he put Swansea out of business. So, but what we're standing on right now is the biggest dust control project in the history of North America. So when LA sucked all the water out of here, there's a lot of chemicals. Some of them were natural, but a lot of them were chemicals that came out of the mines and stuff that drained into the lake. And so this turned into a big dust ball, and everybody was breathing that shit. So in 1999, a judge ruled that they got to put 10% of, because LA took 100% of the Owens River out here. In 1999, the judge said that you have to put 10% of the water back in this lake, and then start doing dust control projects. So when you're driving down here, you probably saw there's some sections of the lake that had this gravel. There's some sections that have all those reeds. They're experimenting on what's the best method to keep the dust down. So it's kind of, if you look at a satellite picture, it's kind of a checkerboard pattern, and they're seeing what works best. But they got to be sinking a lot of money into this thing. That's all, you know, because the whole lake bed's part of the dust control project. So.
Now from here, our next stop was Keller Town, which was known as the end of the line. Keller was the logistic area for the miners.
This town is Keeler. You can see it's almost a ghost town, not quite. But this town really wasn't a mining town. This town was a logistical base for all the mining activity that happened here. And there was a lot of different phases of mines that went through this place. So what happened first was the guy that owned Cerro Gordo, they were smelting the ore up at Swansea and taking it across into the steamboat. Well, the guy at Cerro Gordo happened to pay that guy to smelt the ore stuff, so he came over here to cross the highway, built his own smelters, and bought the Bessie Brady, and built his own wharf and cut the guy out of Swansea, and then Swansea disappeared after that. So he cut the middleman out, and he controlled the whole operation. So, and then the town changed its name from Hollis to Keeler, and I don't know how that came about. But everybody always stops at this depot. There's a clamper plaque right there on the other side. But there's a lot of other cool stuff in this town. If you get online, there's a lot of neat pictures of this depot, like all through the years. It almost looks exactly the same. And right down through here, there was 3 railroad tracks. This was the southern terminus of the Carson in Colorado. And the guys that went on the trash trek, the theme of the trash trek was the Carson in Colorado, and started out at Mound House, Nevada, and this was the terminus down here. So
That's this is a trip. Did these trains go to the lake?
no, so the question was, do these trains go to LA? What happened was, when you come up 395, you see a roadbed almost all the way along it.
Right.
It's the same roadbed that goes through Corona and hits 395, and they pulled up the tracks a few years ago. That was the Southern Pacific. Southern Pacific came across the other side of the lake bed, went through Lone Pine and up that way, and it was about 4 stops up the line was where the Southern Pacific intersected the Carson in Colorado. The Carson in Colorado here was narrow gauge. The Southern Pacific was standard gauge. And if you wanted stuff to go to LA, they'd have to haul the stuff from here, 4 stops up, transfer it over to the standard gauge trains, and then ship it to LA. Still a lot faster than the oxen carts and mule carts and all that kind of stuff. So what went on after that? Everybody, like I said, everybody stops at this depot, but you can see the top of the schoolhouse right there. That goes back to 1870. And my understanding was that kids of the miners and stuff in Cerro Gordo, that's where they went to school. It was a private residence until recently. I went over and looked. It looks abandoned now. There doesn't look like there's anybody in it. And then this building down here, that was Sierra Talc Works, and that's probably a fraction of what it originally was. The train tracks went down there, and then at the turn of the century on the other side of the hills, that's one of the routes tomorrow is to Talc City, and that's where it was the leading talc producer in North America at the time. And they would bring the talc over here, process it, and then ship it out. And that talc was real high-grade talc. It's called steatite. And they used it originally in hot point stoves when hot point stoves first came out, and then during the war they made high frequency insulators out of it for radio communications and stuff like that. So it was kind of valuable. So that was Sierra Talc Works, and that operated, I don't remember for how long, but it operated close to World War II, and then it closed down. And then after LA City started sucking the water out of the lake, there was a company that built 2 massive facilities on each end of town, and they processed all the minerals out of the lake that would leach up. And sodium carbonate, that trona, that same stuff that's down there, and a few other chemicals that came out of the lake. And then after those company built those 2 facilities, LA City had too much water. They started flooding the lake and flooded those 2 facilities out. But that company that owned those successfully sued LA City. They go, hey, what the fuck? You know, we built down here and then you let water in and flooded us out. So
it says Slim Pitcher, Slim Princess Charter, E Clampus Vitus.
I put the handle in for. I can steer.
this is the Darwin Cemetery, and there's a lot of interesting history here. And we have the honor of having Dr. Ben Jones here, who, if I get all the facts straight, or you can add to it, but he's been the medical examiner, coroner doctor here in Owens Valley, Death Valley, Inyo County for a long time. And he's got a lot of interesting insight on the people that lived in various communities in this county, including Darwin, which is, everybody knows it has kind of a eccentric history with eccentric people living there. So, all right, well, boy, they're fast.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's introduction. And Ben, Dr. Ben.
Okay, the only thing I would like to ask, guys, if you're going to have a little conversation between yourselves while the doctor is talking, take it away so all you guys can hear. If you want to talk to the doctor afterwards, questions, talk real close, very loud. He has hearing aids. His right ear. Talk real close.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah. I'd like to mention that my wife Denise.
Unfortunately, the wind got worse and the sound quality ended up being horrible. But we're just going to go ahead and move on. But I do want to thank Dr. Ben Jones for coming out and speaking with the group. He had some pretty interesting facts about the area, and he actually had some pretty good funny moments in his speech there. But let's move on.
Rush going?
I ate while we were there at the cemetery.
I saw that.
I didn't get it.
What saith the brethren?
Victory!
Our final destination was this iconic place. If you are a U2 fan, this is the Joshua tree that was used in one of the album covers. The tree died by natural causes, and it is awesome that people still visit this area, leaving memorabilia items, even leaving messages, as you can see with the rock formations.
It's good to see you. We're up in Trenton. Yeah, I didn't get a chance.
I hope you enjoyed today's video. The next video is going to be on Cerro Gordo. The trail to this location was pretty cool. It's a lot of different little obstacles here and there. But yeah, so we'll see you on the next video, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like the video. And leave also a comment. All right, see you later, guys.